Good. Sit. Okay. Sit. Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome to David Bell's Tang Pseudo Show. I'm Master David Bell. Tonight, I'll be enjoying second degree black belt, Mr. Grisette, Matthew Grisette. Now, we open the show this having a little fun, but on this more serious note, tonight I want to demonstrate or try and demonstrate and document one of the more senior Hyung's forms that we get. I've been talking over the last several shows about the importance of the Hyungs and in the philosophy of our training. Now, I think our main objective with the school in the fighting art, the fight, make no mistake, secondary. Very important, but it's secondary. And by no way do we promote any violence to our community whatsoever. But we have a thorough, very thorough, traditional fighting system, Tang Pseudo. Okay? And in our training, a lot of times, forms, first, the philosophy or the start of our training is this bodybuilding, exercising, learning to work out, and then we go into drills. From drills, we go into Hyungs. Hyungs are formed solo fighting venture, solo. I want to take it a little level higher today because the form that I want to document or go over tonight is a short dagger. And this form is called Gum. And Gum is a form that I started teaching students in first degree black belt level. And especially we start off with a little wooden dagger. And then we move on into a live blade. Now, I would say that anybody watching this program tonight, don't go out and buy your kids, or don't go out and buy a long dagger for yourself to try to practice this. It just makes no sense, so don't do it. Okay? We're professional martial artists. I've been training 30 years now. This guy's been with me for the last seven years almost.
Yes, sir.
So he is very balanced, and still we take a lot of caution with our training, especially at this level. So that's what I want to try to do, and I'm going to bring him in and out just to illustrate some of the cuts that I'm doing going through the form. I think this would be a pretty fun show. So everybody just stay tuned, and we're going to get started into this. Okay? Sure. Thank you, everybody, and we're back. This is not a traditional Korean tanta. And that's in the Korean system they use the tanto. This is American bowie, and this is one of my favorites. So I learned the same Gum Hyung with the bowie. Now, Mr. Grisey is still with me. What I'm going to do this Hyung, Tang, that was created, I guess, in the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s by some Tang technicians, and brought it into our system. Don't know a lot of history about it, so that's as much as I'm going to say. But this is a beautiful, beautiful Hyung, and it really gives you the fundamental use of a knife. Is just incredible. So I take a strong liking to this Hyung. So I think without any further explanation or anything, I just want to get into it. I'm going to first do it slow, and at points I'm going to bring Mr. Grisey in just to demonstrate the cuts and what I'm trying to do with this form. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Just look for me. Very slow, I'll try it. Tang, count. First, I just try to shield myself or hide my knife away from my opponent. And when I come up here and bring it just below my eyes, and rotate up just above the eyes and back. Block, same time, jab. It's going to come up behind with those things. Cross cut. Kick. Back cross. Change. to practice with Mr. Grisette, I've decided maybe leave the sheath on and demonstrate a couple of the cuts coming from here. He will become one of my many opponents, many in this form. So from this point here, if he slides through, slight low front snap kick in, set up, and the opponent coming from the back, block him out. Then I shift toward him, cut right across, kick, and cut again, and again. Okay? If he's still there, again. And if that don't take care of him, this could, here, very dangerous cut. One thing I want to know, here, the knife is always headed north-south. It's never this way. Boom, the opponent is right behind me. Cut, still headed north-south. Okay? Cross, boom, north-south. Yeah, okay? Same. Arm is straight. Straight. Okay? There's another move from this side. Here. Once, come here. Turn. This move. Big. Bam. Right in the top of the head. Front stance. Shift. Bam. Heart. And heart. Right into the solar plexus. Now, this move. Here. There. Then we start forward again. And down. Change. Step. That's a jab. Solar plexus. Block in the back. Okay? Pretty simple. Nice movement. Try to illustrate good mobility, being mobile with the knife. Now, one thing I see, in training in the Tang system for so long, in the beginning, and look at my school now, bringing students in, there's so much that we can learn about the self, empty hand. This empty hand, there's so much to learn. I know students, beginning students, go looking for school that's going to throw a sword at me, throw a knife at me, throw a bow at me. First couple of weeks, it makes no sense to me. Makes no sense. This is a very dangerous, but at the same time, there's so much to be had from learning about yourself and then putting a foreign object in your hand. If you watch me do this form, it's almost like the knife or whatever weapon I'm using just becomes an extension of my arm. So that's the way I like, those are the terms that I like to think. Just an extension of my hand, of my arm. Okay? Tell me a little bit about it's smile time. I remember the first day I put a live knife or a weapon of any kind in your hand.
Yes, sir.
What was that like?
It's just a totally different experience from going from a wooden knife until actually having something that could really do some damage to someone.
And not even to someone, to your own self.
Right.
If you're not, and that's my big caution. That's why I caution everybody when, you know, training and selecting a school. What was it, like 3-4 years? You was about 4 years in?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine just coming there as a white belt. You're putting that in my hand. There's no way, because you have to be in tune with your own body, what you are capable to do, and then to add a foreign object to your hand, it's just a total different, just step up, total different, just mindset. Right?
But now, do you see the significance at some point in time training with a weapon?
Yes, sir.
What does that mean? I mean,
well, it just, I don't know, it kind of brings more self-awareness to yourself, because, you know, you have to be aware of where you're putting that knife. You got to be aware of your surroundings. It's just a whole another level of just concentration.
At school now, I try to promote just a more health conscious environment. I think one of the keys to being healthy is to always have the mind present with the body. And if there's any such thing as spirit or the soul of a person, we try to bring that out through breathing, moving and breathing. It kind of gives us a sense of being physically in touch with the internal self through breathing. And I think in my fighting, in the forms and drills, I'm always emphasizing breathing. And even now in my yoga classes, to really go into stretches, just crazy stretches, I'm starting to do in my late 40s. Just without the understanding first of how the body will stretch, and then moving in a good breathing, even breathing pattern. It's just incredible all the way around. So this is a huge step up, and I thought it was important at some point in time, since I've been doing these shows for quite a while. I feel like it's important to try to bring my understanding or my whole concept of training with weapons, you know, to the community. I just think it is injustice to really start off with a weapon, a sword, a knife. It just really makes not a lot of sense to me. So once we get students in a nice balanced place, we start off with what we call the bow, or bong, which is coming 4 foot, 5 foot, and a 6 foot. And then we move into this weapon. And then we go into the sword. Are you excited about the sword?
Yes, sir.
Someday? Okay. I think, was there anything else you want to add to
No,
this?
I think it, you know, you wrapped it up pretty much. It's an extension of the body, and, you know, you can't just go into those weapons. You have to have more awareness of your body before you put a foreign object in it. I think you said that pretty good.
Okay. What I'd like to do now, was there any, I think the major cuts we covered, and really the angle of the knife so far as it's held in the body, down, block, cross, straight arm across. Okay. I think what I'll do now is maybe, see, can I tighten it up a little bit? Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Tang. Let me see. Just in closing, I'd like to tell everyone, if I can help anybody have questions, me, I'm Master Bell. I can be reached at the First Tang Studio Fremont, i.e. Healing Arts Center. I'm usually there 7 days. Thanks to everybody for tuning in.